In this video, I'm going to show you a new Instagram advertising strategy, one that I've never talked about before on YouTube. It's called the Instagram profile method, and it works incredibly well for certain businesses. So the idea behind the Instagram profile method is a fairly simple one. Basically, you turn your Instagram profile into a sales page, into a replacement for your landing page, and you send people there as opposed to sending them to a landing page or externally to your website. Now, why would you do this? Well, it's easier to get people to consume content if they stay on platform. So if you get someone to click through to Instagram profile, they're likely to spend more time there looking at reels and stories, and we're going to talk about the various things in a minute, than they are if they come through to a website or a landing page and click around. Remember, people mainly want to stay on platform. That's why they were there in the first place. Your ad is distracting them away from that. If the users feel like we've moved them away from what they're originally doing less, they're more likely to stick around longer, more likely to consume content. And if you need people to consume content for them to be ready and willing to purchase, which applies to a lot of industries, then this can be a great way to do it. And of course, as with all new Facebook and Instagram advertising strategies, I'd recommend that you test it against what you're currently doing, against other strategies. So if you've currently got a landing page, for example, and that's where you're sending people, you could also test the Instagram profile method alongside it and simply see which works better and then go from there. We have seen that with certain businesses, the Instagram profile method will outperform sending people through to a specific landing page or someone's website. So the first thing is how to go about setting up your Instagram profile to act as a landing page. The most obvious thing here is to edit your bio. Make sure that you include at least one link to a destination where you actually want to send people. This could be where they purchase your product, where they inquire for your service, whatever it happens to be. And then give people a reason, encourage them to actually go ahead and click. Don't just use a simple descriptor. Now, if you look at my Instagram profile, for example, I've got a simple descriptor on there. I'm not currently running the Instagram profile method, but if I was, you would want to change it to something. I'll give you a couple of examples. So for example, in your Instagram bio, you could have sign up for your 30-day free trial here before November 30th. That's really encouraging people to go ahead and click on the link. And in that case, sign up for a free trial. Obviously, you're going to need to adjust this depending on the products and services that you sell and how you operate. Another example could be book a free call with one of our Facebook ads experts today. That's something that we could use. And if we were running the Instagram profile method, which we have done in the past, then that's what we would change my bio to something just like that to help convince people to take the next step, which for our sales process is booking in a free call to find out more about our done for you services. Now, if we take a look at my Instagram profile, you'll see that the rest of what I've got set up is set up in the way that I would recommend you do if you want to run the Instagram profile method. It's designed to tick a number of boxes, provide people with content and reasons why they should then go ahead and take the next step. So let's go ahead and start with the story highlights. We've got 4 story highlights: thank you, client results, lifestyle, and Q&A. What are we looking to achieve here? We are looking to do something very similar to what we try to do with an omnipresent content campaign. Now, I know some of you watching this will be familiar with that. If you're not, I'd strongly recommend that you check out a link in the video description that shows you exactly how to run an omnipresent content campaign. It can function really well. And with an omnipresent content campaign, but also the same here with what's immediately readily available and consumable on our Instagram profile, we're looking to do a number of things. So firstly, we need testimonials, client results, something along those lines that shows that we can deliver for our potential customers. We've done it for people just like them in the past, so we really want to tick that box. That's important. We also want to provide value. We want to give our prospects information, useful tips and tricks and things like that they could just go ahead and implement anyway. That's going to help build goodwill with your prospects. You want to include some sort of call to action. We've got that in the bio to some extent, but I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. And then where possible, we also want to have some content that demonstrates what we do as a business, how the process works, because we know that people are far more likely to take the next step if they understand what the next step actually is. Often you want to buy something, want to hire a company for something, and you're like, how do I even get started? I don't know what to do. You want to make that as clear and simple as possible. So those are the 4 boxes we're looking to tick with an omnipresent content campaign, but also on our Instagram profile if we are using the Instagram profile method. So if we take a look at these story highlights, we've got thank you as an example. So my thank you story highlight is just, we've taken screenshots of where people have left really nice comments about my YouTube videos or about our services, just some places where people have said really nice things about us. So it could be reviews that we've got, it could be all sorts of things, and we've just got it in a thank you story highlight. So people can click through and they can see this stuff and they can go, oh wow, lots of other people are getting value from Ben's content, or lots of other people are getting value from their services. All sorts of different examples in the thank you story highlight. Okay, so that's what that's looking to do there. It's just to demonstrate expertise, position me as a credible person, as an expert in this place, and that's really important. Okay, then we've got client results as the next one. Now this is slightly different. It's along the same lines, but this is slightly different in that we're demonstrating some of the fantastic results we've gotten for clients in the past. Again, that's really important for people wanting to work with us and hire us for done for you services. Look, we got this client at 19x ROAS. Look, we generated millions for this client. We did all this sort of stuff. And in this story highlight, we've also got some call to actions in there. So just after we've shown some fantastic results, we then have another story that says something like, if you want results like this, why not book a free call with my team members? So we're ticking both boxes in this client results story highlight. We're demonstrating that we can do great work, and we're trying to get people to take action with a call to action. Next, we've got lifestyle, which is fairly self-explanatory. I think it's good for anyone like myself building a personal brand, just to show a little bit of personality and the things I'm into and stuff along those lines. But that's not really specific to the Instagram profile method. It's just a little extra we've got in there. And then we've got Q&A, and Q&A is me simply answering, questions that people have presented to me Facebook ads wise, and I'm just delivering value. So Q&A is all just about delivering value, helping people out, giving them answers to questions that they may well have as well, and that's what we're ticking with that box. So we've already ticked a number of boxes there in terms of making sure that people see all the things we want them to see: value, testimonials, all that sort of stuff, right? Okay. Then we move on to what we've got down here. So you can see that my Instagram profile has just got tons of reels and things like that are all very value based. So these here are all reels that are like short little videos that explain something to do with Facebook and Instagram advertising and how they can get better results and how they can implement a little thing. And obviously they're short because they're reels and all that sort of stuff. So having that in there is, again, more value, which is fantastic. And that's just constantly going in there and being added. We do multiple ones of those a week. Then we've got a couple of pinned posts here as well. I think that's something you could definitely take advantage of, because remember, we're taking people from ad to our Instagram profile, then they're going to see things like story highlights and pinned post way more than anything else here when they quickly take a look at it. So the first pinned post we've got here is a number of images from a marketing conference that I spoke at fairly recently, one of the biggest in the UK. And it's pictures of me like up on stage and speaking to people and all that sort of stuff. And that again really helps position me as an expert, as an industry authority, which is fantastic for then convincing people to go through and take the next step and be like, oh yeah, I want to work with Ben and his company because look, I mean, he's managed to achieve all of this and things are obviously done well and he's respected within the industry and obviously has good ideas, etc., etc. Right? So we've got that as a pinned post. And then another one I've got is all about growing a Facebook group, because it's a reel that did really quite well, but also demonstrates that I've got this, really big Facebook group and I've got this large audience. And again, that's positioning me as credibility and all that sort of stuff, which is something that I would recommend if you are able to, because that's really going to help convince people to take that next step, which for my business is go ahead and booking a call to find out more about our services. Click, 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 click. So you are going to need to adjust this, and the boxes you need to tick slightly depending on your industry. So I've talked a lot about positioning myself as an expert and demonstrating credibility and industry authority. That's really important in a lot of service-based businesses, less important with product-based businesses. There you're going to want to show more about people using your product and it working really well for them and customer testimonials and things like that. But the general ideas are very much similar. It's also important to regularly update this and make sure there's stuff going in. Yes, you can get it set up initially, but just make sure you've got content going on there and new things going in there. Otherwise, if people come back later on, which people often do in sales systems, where they might visit once and then they forget about it and they're reminded with another ad 30 days later and go check out that again. It's good to have some fresh stuff on there for those people. And one other point on that is that a side benefit for using the Instagram profile method is that some of the people that come through to your Instagram profile will follow you, and they'll follow you whether they go ahead and purchase, become a lead, whatever the next step is, or not. And that is an extra side benefit because, of course, if you are regularly updating this and posting content and ticking the boxes we talked about with value and client testimonials and call to actions, you will be able to market to those people on an ongoing basis without having to pay again. And you will convert some of those into customers over time. This is a strategy that, yes, it can work well right out of the gate, but also often improves over time because you are building an audience that you can also market to as an added side benefit to the strategy. So what types of businesses should be using the Instagram profile method, or at least testing it? Well, any sort of expertise-based service business, which is most service businesses, this can work really, really well. You need people to consume content of yours before they're going to be willing to work with you, particularly if you're on the higher end of things price-wise. So being able able to send them through to somewhere where they can consume all that content like we've just discussed and you've just seen on my Instagram profile is absolutely something that I'd recommend you test. Any sort of expertise-based service business. Anyone selling a course or an information product. Yes, the deliverable might be different, but the positioning of the person, of the business, needs to be very similar. You need to demonstrate credibility and authority and provide value and do all those sorts of things. I've also seen the Instagram profile method work really well for software businesses, where again, you can tailor it slightly to your industry, where you can do a lot of demonstration around how the software really helps people and makes their lives a lot easier and is cheaper than the alternatives and all those sorts of things. We've seen it work well with product-based businesses, usually on the higher end of things, because if you're selling products with a lower value, having this intermediary step of coming through to the Instagram profile before then going onto your website often isn't beneficial. Like the net benefit of the proof that you provide by going to the Instagram profile doesn't outweigh just being able to send people directly to the sales page. But if you are offering a product that has a bit of a higher price point, anything over, a couple $100, something like that, then absolutely the Instagram profile method can work really well. And I think particularly in industries where there's a lot of skepticism, which certainly applies to my industry, right? We offer done-for-you advertising services. A lot of people have worked with digital marketing agencies in the past that haven't done a good job. Like they're skeptical, they're, are all agencies going to be the same? Should I work with Ben's company? Are they going to be any different? We do think we're very different. We work very hard to be very different and provide the best possible client experience, but we need to show that. And Instagram profile method can be a great way of doing that because they can come through and they can see things and do all the things that we've already discussed. Now I'm going to show you what we need to do within Ads Manager, what we need to do ad campaign creation wise to run the Instagram profile method, because there are some differences when you're using this strategy as opposed to regular Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns. Now I'm not going to go through the entire campaign creation process. I've already recorded a video that goes through that in a lot of detail, full beginner's tutorial. I'll include a link to that in the video description. So if you want to find out more information, go ahead and check this out. In this video here, I'm instead going to focus on the differences between a regular Facebook and Instagram ad campaign and how you need to change things to use the Instagram profile method strategy. Okay, so I'm in an example Facebook ad account, I'm in Ads Manager, I'm going to go ahead and click on this green plus create button, and then the first thing I'm going to do is select traffic and then go ahead and click continue, which is obviously one of the biggest changes because we typically be running sales lead campaigns most of the time. Then I'm going to go ahead and jump to the ad set level. Then when you come through to the ad set level and you go into conversion location, you want to change it from website, which is the default, to Instagram profile, which is obviously required for us to use the Instagram profile method. We need people to come through to the Instagram profile to consume the content, then go ahead through a CTA post or link in your bio to actually go on and do the thing that you want them to do after that. So you want to come in and change that to Instagram profile. And then the other thing that we want to do at the ad set level is scroll all the way down to placements. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on show more options here. You can see it's kind of hidden if you be able to do manual placements nowadays, but it still is there. So you've got placement controls, all placements selected. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to switch to manual placements. Again, Meta saying not recommended. And often we don't go with manual placements. Often we do just go with every single placement option. In this case, I want to get really specific and only advertise on Instagram. Now you see that having clicked through and found manual placements, Meta's done this automatically for me based on the fact that I've selected Instagram profile as my conversion location. I have seen scenarios where this isn't done automatically, which is why I wanted to highlight it. In terms of the specific Instagram placements, I personally feel like it's fine to go with all the available ones and just select Instagram as a platform and not get specific. If you were like, no, I really just want to use stories and reels, I really just want to use feeds, then you can get more specific if you want to. Now, when it comes to the ad level, I'm not going to demonstrate how to create that in this video because I've already covered that in a lot of detail here. In that video, I show you exactly how to create high converting Facebook ads and Instagram ads, including a super simple tool that you can use to produce high quality ad creative. Go ahead and check it out.